Starts Thursday at 8:30 on ITV.
Before the national news in a few minutes, and now on ITV, the news where you are.
Hello, good evening. A man has died and another is in a critical condition tonight after a double stabbing in the Handsworth area of Birmingham. Police launched a murder investigation this morning after the men were found lying unconscious and bleeding heavily in Grove Lane near Holly Road in the early hours. An investigation's been launched at a prison in Staffordshire over claims an armed robber was able to walk out. There are reports that Haroon Ahmed has fled to Spain after escaping from Dovegate Prison in Uttoxeter on Wednesday. Staffordshire police say they are following all lines of inquiry. A dentist who survived when his two colleagues drowned off the coast of Malta has told ITV News Central they were the best friends he could ever wish to have. Bayes Ali and Mohammed Kamran Shabir ran the Sheldon dental practice and were on holiday with Hussein Ahmed. He tried to save them as they got into trouble in the water. He spoke today at a charity car wash that the three had organised together.
The only way I can describe them is the most amazing and generous guys I have ever had the honour of meeting, and not just meeting, calling them my best friends. So you can see what I've lost. This is testament to who they were. I mean, on top of running 5 dental practices, they made time for volunteer activities like this.
Time now for a look at the sport.
ITV Central Sports Report, sponsored by WeWantAnyCar.com, the Cash for Cars website.
Aston Villa manager Tim Sherwood has told several players they can leave the club. His strong words came after Villa were brushed aside by Arsenal in the FA Cup final yesterday. Our sports correspondent Steve Clamp reports.
They arrived at Wembley full of hope. The desire to reclaim the FA Cup after a 58-year wait. Inside the stadium, Tim Sherwood, who'd led the team to Premier League survival, now led the team out for their big day. But once the game was underway, Arsenal quickly had the upper hand. Shay Given, setting a record for the biggest gap in cup final appearances, defied his age to keep Lauren Koscielny out. More Arsenal chances came and went without response, until this from Theo Walcott. The second half would see no resurgence from Villa, instead more fiery shots from the Gunners. Alexis Sanchez this time stunning the Villa faithful. It was 3-0 in the 62nd minute, per Mertesacker finding too much room to head in. Villa still hadn't had a shot on goal. The closest the Claret and Blue came to scoring was when substitute Gabriel Agbonlahor was brought down. Appeals for a penalty brushed away. Gabby's frustration no doubt shared by many. Arsenal added a fourth in injury time. By now, Villa's players, who'd worked hard without reward, looked well beaten. Losers' medals for them and for manager Sherwood, who was clearly hurting at the manner of the defeat.
Tim, is it a reminder of the work that is going to need to be done in the summer?
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think we needed this result to remind me of that. I think it was quite obvious anyway. You know, the team's scraped relegation for the last 4 seasons is not good enough for a team like Aston Villa. So we need to improve. Some of the boys have already been told that they won't be here next year, or they can go and find other clubs.
Where did they go wrong today?
At kick-off. They didn't really turn up today.
I don't think we had a shot on target. I don't think we had a shot, no man on target.
Awful. I can't even believe how bad it was.
For Aston Villa, 2015 wasn't to be their year, but just perhaps this positive end, getting to a cup final and avoiding relegation, will be the starting point for Tim Sherwood and the team to build for a brighter future. Steve Clamp, ITV News, Wembley Stadium.
But there was also disappointment last night for Frankie Gavin. The boxer, who's from Birmingham, was going for his first world title at London's O2, but couldn't get the better of welterweight champion Cal Brook. The fight eventually being stopped with Frankie on the ropes in the 6th round. Let's take a look at the weather forecast now with the details. Here's Amanda Houston.
Hello again. Well, the meteorological summer certainly gets off to a fairly unseasonable start. It will be wet and windy at times later on tomorrow. But the good news is from Wednesday onwards, it will be warmer and brighter in our region. So for the rest of this evening, there's still a chance of 1 or 2 showers, especially up towards the northwest there. But for most of us, we're coming dry. We've got clear skies tonight. And that will take many of us into quite a bright start to the day tomorrow. So overall, the morning itself, not looking too bad. Largely dry with some lovely spells of sunshine. But the winds will be strengthening and the cloud will be thickening up, and eventually some outbreaks of rain will start to track their way across the region. Now, most of this rain will be heaviest throughout tomorrow night. I think the further east that you are, you will stay driest for the longest, but disappointing temperatures for the 1st of June. We're looking at highs there at 13 or 14 degrees. And watch out overnight Monday into Tuesday. We are expecting some very strong winds.
How are you today?
Lloyd's Pharmacy, proud sponsors of the Pollen Count.
So the one good thing about these unsettled and wet conditions is it will keep the pollen count low for many of us, but with brighter, drier and warmer conditions on Wednesday, the pollen count is going to jump up to moderate. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
And just before we go tonight, a quick mention for the Neil family from Solihull, hoping to win Britain's Got Talent tonight. It's on at 7:30. Very good luck. The national news is coming up next from the weekend team here, though. Have a great Sunday evening. Bye-bye for now.